Okay? If you're looking to factor rational and negative powers, okay, what you're looking to do is you're looking to remove any common factors that exist between, and you need to picture these as groups of factors. So here I have two groups of factors. I have a factor with a base of p, a binomial factor with a base of p minus 13. In the second group, I have a factor with a base of 8 and a binomial factor with a base of p minus 13. So I'm looking for the ones that are common between those. So the only ones that are common between these is my binomial factor. Okay, so I'm going to take that out, okay, and I always take out the lesser power. So even if you're dealing with fractions or negatives, you always take the one that's further to the left on the number line. So what number is less, negative 1/3 or positive 2/3? The negative. So that's what factor we're going to remove. Now, remember when you remove factors, what's going to happen is you want to identify what's left in that group after you remove these common factors. Well, removing a factor and seeing what's left, when you divide it out or factor it out, you can go back into the original and divide each of these groups by whatever common factors you removed. Okay? And when you divide by a rational power or divide by an exponent, what do you do with powers? Dividing exponents, you subtract powers. So we're going to take this power of minus 1/3 and we're going to subtract it from each of the originals. So minus a minus 1/3, minus a minus 1/3. Okay, so when I go in to look, subtracting is equivalent to adding the opposite. And so when I look to see what's left, I have this base factor p left, and this binomial p minus 13, we have that taken to the power of minus 1/3 plus 1/3, which is 0. So I'm going to remove all of the binomial factors. So I just have the p left in that first group. In the second group, I have this 8 left. And when I take this power of 2/3 minus a minus or plus 1/3, I get this whole binomial p minus 13 to the first, right? 3/3. And so that's what's left inside here. So if I rewrite this, I can keep my common factor out. I'm going to distribute my negative 8 here, or I'm sorry, a positive 8 here. Okay, you keep this sign the same. Okay, and so when I distribute that out, I have p plus 8p, and then minus 8 times 13. If you take 8 times 10 is 80. 8 times 3 is 24, so 80 plus 24 is 104. Combine my like terms here. That gives me 9p minus 104. So there's my remaining factor. And then I can either write this in front, p minus 13 to the minus 1/3. Okay, so that's one acceptable way. Or I can take that negative power and I can move it to the denominator. So I could have also taken this whole binomial p minus 13. If I take the negative part, move it to the denominator, change the sign. So this is the alternate way I could write that same expression.